Read it out loud so everyone knows.
This game is copyright work. Copyright held within Walt Disney Company and the collaboration of authors representing Walt Disney Company. Walt Disney Company. Additionally, the copyright of characters, curtain characters held by Square Enix.
Curtain character.
You are free to stream this game in non-commercial context. However, using streams of the game for to primarily provide or listen to the music is prohibited, even in such non-commercial context. For information on the terms of use relating to stream of the game, please see the official Kingdom Hearts site, http://www.kingdomhearts.com/3/. Welcome the On the Fence, show that's about helping you decide whether or not to spend your hard-earned money on the biggest and possibly best releases. Nick.
13 years in the making, Hans. It's finally here.
In the length of time between 2 and 3, a child could have hit puberty. Japanese puberty.
Is there a difference?
No, I'm not going to go into racist jokes here. I'm going to save that for Game Club. But yes, Nick, we're looking at Kingdom Hearts 3 on the PS4. Square Enix's long-running franchise. Nick?
Someone pointed out that of all the games that they showed at Sony's E3 2013 press conference, they have now all finally either been released or cancelled with the release of Kingdom Hearts 3.
Flipsake. Right, so Nick, what are you going to show us today?
I'm going to show you some hot Disney action.
There's a website for that.
Yep, many websites. Hashtag Terra.
Hashtag searching. So Nick, what's the story of Kingdom Hearts 3?
It's a loaded question. So I admire their dedication to bullshit. I admire that they have stuck to their guns over fucking 13 years, and they reference, and everything in those side games is quintessential to this fucking story. Doesn't mean this game is inaccessible as fuck. Yeah, but fuck it. It's great.
Yes, so Kingdom Hearts, in a long broad stroke, is essentially what happens whenever cross fan fiction between Final Fantasy and Disney gets made into a video game.
Yeah, I remember to turn this. I did remember to turn something.
So, you travel the world, as you do. You meet multiple Disney and Square Enix characters, and you have a jolly good time. For example, Nick, this is Tangled.
Yeah. So, the guts of the story in 3 is Sora has been tasked with going out and and essentially gathering the 7 Guardians of Light to help battle the bad guys. And to do so, he is going across all these worlds, gallivanting with his pals Donald and Goofy, and just having a jolly old time.
Stopped. I'm free.
Nick, I'm gonna lie to you. I think having Tangled World is a really dumb idea.
Why?
It doesn't fit in with the context
You're here and just in time.
of, like, you know,
Who's she? That's
Kingdom
not
Hearts.
Rapunzel.
It's not very combat heavy.
This could be her first time
You know what I mean?
outdoors.
Neither was The Little Mermaid.
Used to it.
first time ever.
True, but it was cool.
I mean, neither was Alice in Wonderland.
True, but it was cool.
So, I wanted to show off the Tangle World because I think, more so than the Toy Story World before this,
I can't believe I
that I
did
felt comfortable doing these early two worlds. I think this one really nails, like, the feel of the film, and shows off, like, how much this is, like, how the engine has come on and how much they've actually come on in terms of portraying the feel of these films. Because, like, bar the fact you've got this spiky-haired motherfucker and Donald and Goofy hanging around, this looks, like, ripped straight out of the actual film.
It does. I felt that way with the Toy Story world as well. There were times that it just looked straight up Pixar.
I notice you seem a little
Obviously,
with yourself here.
Kingdom Hearts has always been
More than a little.
quite stylized as an anime game. But this game is fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like, it really is.
Stop right there. Who are you?
Oh,
I told you before, my sidekicks.
sidekick.
Not only that,
May I introduce...
But- the sound alikes they get for the
Yeah.
likes of all the well-known characters are pretty good.
Well, I know all the Frozen characters, I believe, are their actual voice actors.
Sora.
Really?
Yeah,
Because they're like actual actors
Yeah.
and actresses.
It's nice to meet you too.
As far as
I'm
I know they definitely got Elsa's voice actors.
Yep, my
I'm not sure if that's the only one or if they did get them all.
Hey,
But yes,
Since when is that?
they've Sora, Donald, and his
she really
fucking
wants to see
stupid
the lantern
dog.
show tomorrow night.
Why is he not a dog? Why is Pluto a dog and Goofy's not a dog?
Nick, you're diving down the well.
Sorry.
You don't want to answer this
So-
question.
I can get her to the kingdom.
They've arrived in this world.
Clearly more
Shit's going wrong.
combat.
It's heartless. It's kind of the story for all the worlds.
It is.
Heartless experts.
And obviously, so Organization 13 are the main bad guys in this, as kind of in the last one as well. It's- I don't. So the story is obviously like a running joke that is just unnecessarily complicated.
All kinds of ways.
Like, in a really dumb way.
The outside world must seem so.
But it's kind of weird, because like each world obviously has its own self-contained stories. But I don't, other than as a bit of comic relief, I don't find Goofy and Donald and Sora that interesting. Because Donald and Goofy and Sora just kind of are there to have a laugh.
Unforgettable.
Um,
Just like your face.
Sora doesn't really have a character arc, or that you can see early on anyway. Like, yes, he wants to get stronger, but that's really about it.
I disagree.
Well,
I think you especially like from the early games, I think you slowly see Sora like
For one and one for all.
get used to like his responsibilities. Cause like there are scenes in this where Sora is like actually like properly bummed out about the fact that say he's lost his powers and all that jazz.
The flowers are growing on top of the water.
So yes, one of the biggest changes from the first two games and all the other spin-off games is these worlds are fucking humongous now. Like, what would have been like a whole world and like a whole world split into multiple different rooms
Whole mother thing.
in a previous game is like one area in Kingdom Hearts 3, and it's kind of insane.
Yeah, and not only that, but at no point do I ever feel it's graphically unstable. Like, I haven't had, even on during some of the crazier boss fights, it hasn't really stuttered or missed a step. There's not even that much in terms of like clipping or stuff like that, you know. Jesus Christ.
What?
Heartless.
The Heartless designs are also still hilarious. I think it's one of those really cool keyblades that you like.
All right, I hate to say it, but I'm letting you out of this deal.
What?
It's way too scary out here.
Also,
Let's just turn
seriously,
around and take you
I
home.
just the Tangled isn't even that good a film. I'm just saying it right now.
Geez, these are some hot takes here.
I just like
Rapunzel?
Frozen I can
It's
get
okay.
because it was a
I'm
big
not afraid
thing.
to face them.
Like, got absolutely like fucking everyone loved it. Tangle was not that.
I will.
There are other cooler world. Fucking Moana would have been cooler.
I
With
think that-
Dwayne the Rock
I think that may
Johnson.
have come out a bit late.
No, Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Tell me you don't want Dwayne the Rock Johnson in a Kingdom Hearts game, Nick. Tell me you
I
don't
also
want that.
wanted the game to come out eventually and not keep adding new worlds.
I want a Moana DLC.
So, big change. I would, well, okay. As someone who's played all the like side games, the combat is like now a weird amalgamation of all the kind of games. So, it kind of maintains the core conceits of the original Kingdom Hearts 2, 1 and 2, where obviously, bunch of Heartless, you have your basic attack, you have your basic magic abilities. So, they have added, as you can see above my menu there, the finisher commands, which were in Birth by Sleep. So, I got a finisher command, which essentially, in Birth by Sleep, it would like change your combos up, like you would become fire or ice or whatever. In this one, it's your Keyblade changes form. In this case, my keyboard blade becomes a giant hammer. And they've also added from the Dream Drop distance, the flow motion stuff, which is like you can kick off walls and do combos out of that and spin on trees and stuff like that. That's all pretty cool. I think it makes the combat really fun. I think it mixes it up a lot more, and it allows them to do a lot of really cool like animations and graphics and stuff. Because some of like the weapons, and I'll show you once I'll get into another combat encounter, like the I just didn't know. The attraction stuff as well, I think is pretty cool. I have issues with the attraction stuff, but I think it does result in some pretty cool looking things.
Yeah, like I can see inspirations in this. Well, I suppose it's harder to say what inspired what, but Final Fantasy 15, where the combat is actually a spectacle to look at, like with all the flashing lights and colors and sick animations and stuff. I do feel like it is a lot, like it's just a lot of fun. I think some of the stuff gels a lot better in it than most, so I'm not a massive fan of the flow motion stuff. I feel like maybe I'm just bad with the controls, but I feel like you kind of need to. It only really works for certain enemies. Like for example, when you're in the forest going to the old mansion in Twilight Town, and there's the branches of the trees. Mm-hmm. They're only really good against the monkey enemies because everyone else on the ground, stuff like that.
So I think the 3DS game implemented the flow motions have a bit better because you could flow motion like off enemies and stuff. Like if you dashed at certain enemies, you would like chain into a combo where you'd spin them around. That doesn't necessarily think they've done it poorly. I think they've maybe just stripped it back a bit in this one for some reason.
That's it's not a bad thing. You know, I'm not saying it's not an off-putting thing, but I definitely do think it's definitely not as some things in this gel a lot better than most.
Allow me to assist you.
In terms of the ride finishers, what are they called? Attraction finishers.
Oh Jesus, bless me!
I kind of agree with you. So, like, yes, some of the stuff there. Some of the issues are they happen too often, so they kind of stop being special. Which is kind of it's disappointing whenever you're kind of going through a level for the first time, because then you kind of you're blowing through all these enemies just by using that. But what I will say is that it's actually really handy whenever you're going through a level for the side stuff, because then you just kind of get the enemy counter and just kind of go, right, yeah, screw that, blast that. And another issue you said is that there's not enough of them.
So it feels like those kind of go hand in hand. Like I feel if there was more of them, you wouldn't mind them happening as often because you'd be seeing a bit more variety.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does seem like in one of the boss fights anyway, there is like a boss specific one. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if that'll maybe if there is more of that later on, I don't know.
Like, the boss specific one that we did, also, we'll obviously try and avoid too many spoilers, but it's awesome. Like, it is legit, it is on par with, like, Final Fantasy 15 levels of that was awesome just to look at. So yes, I kind of think that if... Now, no, you don't want every boss fight to end that way, because, but, like, the more epic ones with the bigger enemies, 100% why not? Like, you know, it's just, it's the cool cherry on top of a cool boss fight. Why wouldn't you?
What?
Overall, like, I think the combat's grand.
Yeah,
Like,
I think they've... I think if they had just, like, re-implemented something like Kingdom Hearts 2's combat, I think it would have felt very dated. I think the updates they've done are very clever in this. And I think it's probably their advantage that they have had these side games to kind of really spin it off and refine these things. Like, because it's cool seeing them take things like that. Like, I really like the Birth by Sleep combat system.
yeah.
Oh, am I supposed to smile? Jeez.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now take your clothes off.
As it's a fucking 21st century video game, it has to have a photo mode.
Yep.
Sora.
I'm tripping ball.
They're just like the floating lights.
But yeah, I think the combat is a lot of fun, and I think
To see what's at the top of the
overall
rabbits.
it is very similar to Final Fantasy 15. But then when we said Final Fantasy 15 took a page out of Kingdom Hearts book.
Oh, no.
But they're similar, but yet somehow still very different.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I felt like Final Fantasy 15 was a bit more dynamic, maybe. Like, okay, so this one, for example, you are still kind of flying around enemies and stuff. But it's not like Final Fantasy 15 where, like, your air combo could literally last the entire fight. You were just up that high, sort of thing. But yeah, this is also a new kind of thing where you can just shoot people.
So this was also another thing that they added in Birth by Sleep, was the shot lock stuff. Essentially, it's just a quick way to, like, kind of close distances, and essentially there was a lot of times saying Kingdom Hearts in the first couple where, like, there would be enemies on the other side of the combat counter. You'd be like, oh no, I need to run over there. And it is a fast way of dealing range damage.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, it's safe now.
Safe now, Hans. They're fine.
Oh, maybe they want to show us something. Let's follow them.
Fucking rabbits.
Yeah, let's just follow rabbits. That's totally a normal thing to do.
Where do you think the
Can I
rabbits
shoot?
went?
One thing I do miss
I never imagined the forest would be.
is the burst modes. Now, they're kind of, like, to be honest, they are kind of implemented in this with the, like, the second mode bit.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Because actually, I actually only noticed this in the Toy Story world, but that your clothes change color too. So it pretty much is the burst mode. But yeah, it's like just one of my favorite things is just seeing the worlds. Like these worlds are awesome. The Toy Story world is just.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just me, but I always get a kick out of any level that shrinks me down, and just to see everything massive.
Find some ingredients
So yeah,
around here.
the Toy Story, like even the opening part of the Toy Story world where you're in Andy's house and you're literally the first thing you do is jump out the window to the world below is awesome.
Hashtag all for one, hashtag one for all.
So like, what are we doing now?
So, there is obviously a bunch of side stuff in this game, and I kind of really like, this is one of my favourites, where you get to make fucking food, Hans.
Yeah, with Remy.
That's not Remy.
Telling you, it's Remy. Why you gotta do that?
Yeah!
We did it.
You know what? I was like talking about making comparisons between Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
This is definitely this definitely took inspiration from Final Fantasy 15. So when you make these, they provide buffs to your party. So yeah,
Oh, flambe! Ho, 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 ho.
it's awesome. Like, it's so silly, but it's so awesome.
It's something I felt Kingdom Hearts has always done really well, is
balance silliness and awesomeness.
That, and I'd like nail these like small little things about the world, like making Little Mermaid like a completely musical thing in the second game was a stroke of genius. And I think something like this is the same. They make the most out of what would be non-traditional things in an action game. So like having these cooking mini games in an action game because it makes sense in terms of you have this cooking rat.
I think it's also funny how like they just start how they introduce things. Like for example, Little Chef is Scrooge McDuck's personal chef.
Yeah, it's his next money making scheme.
Yeah,
And
like
it's great.
it's so funny. This is another one of the attractions.
I like this one. This one's pretty clever, I'll admit.
Is that so? How does it work?
So you make the path, and then when you do your finish, you follow the path.
And then do the damage.
Yeah, but you also do damage when you're making the path. So now I go back down the splash path I made. And there's big splash!
Do you feel like the amount of encounters is too much?
No. Because I think the combat feels a lot more fluid than before, and I think it makes it a lot more fun to have this many combat. I think there is a lot of them, but I also think they don't feel like a chore half the time.
Well, I was
Like
playing.
it's some like to make. I know we're making the comparison a lot, but to make the comparison to Final Fantasy 15, Final Fantasy 15 felt like it had a lot of combat encounters, and a lot of the times, if you were say running along the roads, I would just run right past them. And I don't feel myself doing this in Kingdom Hearts because I think combat flows a lot better in this.
See, I definitely got to that point where I was getting a bit. I wouldn't say fed up. That's quite a strong word, but like,
That's 2 words. That's all.
with some of the robot encounters, you know, the Gigas encounters in the Toy Story world. Gigas, which is a type of enemy. One, because they're fun to do whenever you can pilot one of the mechs yourself, the Gigas mechs yourself. But whenever it's one of those encounters where there is no other Gigas mechs, and you're kind of like, right, this is actually quite annoying. I did kind of find myself going like, these are maybe one too many encounters. But I think maybe it's just a case of I just don't like that enemy. I probably don't like that enemy archetype more so than there's too many encounters.
I never imagined the forest would be so big.
I, Nick, also never imagined. What the fuck is that?
What?
That. The Mary Poppins, friggin' Heartless. What world did that come in on?
This one?
What?
You got a problem with it?
Yeah.
What?
Sexist?
What? Ah!
Look, what is that? Fucking rider rolling around a fucking barrel?
So I think one of my favorite things to say about the combat is, like, that stuff is cool. Like, if I fire a blizzard or something, it creates like a reel for me to ride on, and then that lets me like go into the flow motion stuff. And I hope it kind of, that's obviously a very basic implementation of that, and I hope there is like deeper layers to it past that.
Yeah.
Then just go whoa, and then be like whoosh. Do you want me to jump into one of the other worlds?
It's up to you. I think you're better.
Because it'll let me show off another enemy type.
Well, sure.
Okay. Can I get back to the save point quickly? Let's go back to this one. I wonder if Blizzard needs to hit something to do the reel. No, it doesn't. Sorry.
What has been your favorite world you've played in so far?
I think this one, by far. I really like the Toy Story world, but I do think I prefer this world.
I think the Toy Story world was good, but it was obviously more akin to a Kingdom Hearts
Mm-hmm.
2 or 1 world. But I feel like that's more just down to the fact that you are a toy,
Yeah.
and therefore are going to be going in around rooms more often. Whereas I'm really looking forward to the Big Hero 6 world, because to go around San Fran, Tokyo, I believe it's set in, will be amazing and really fun.
Hashtag carry, hashtag Lee, hashtag Axel, hashtag Secret Forest, hashtag training.
I suppose we should kind of like talk a wee bit more about the story, because I'm not gonna lie, I just...
Don't get it.
I still like, don't get it. I'm just really not
So,
biting it.
in terms of, like, well, this is obviously the story so far in this game. I'll give them props for, like, they do have, like, a relatively dense, like, oh, here is, like, background stuff for everything that's kind of mentioned in the games. And there is obviously all the character stuff, which does go into certain bits of, like, past information and stuff like that. So, there is, like, it's not just... I think... I mentioned to you before that I think the 3DS game did a far better job of recapping the old story.
Yes.
This one has some videos at the start, but they seem kind of half-assed. Also, look at my creepy face.
It's the hair. Don't weird me. Actually, no, Goofy's the fucking...
Yeah.
That's tragic. Oof. Oh, God. Oh, no, stop. Oh. Fucking nightmare fuel.
This is the Monsters Inc. world.
Fucking furious.
Yep. So,
See, this is awesome. Like, round. Oh my God, the Heartless are even more creepy.
so these aren't Heartless. These are the Unversed, which is an enemy type that was introduced in Birth by Sleep they feed off negative emotions. Which kind of makes sense why they'd be in the Monsters Inc. world, considering it's all about scaring kids.
Right, but see, like, this right. Why though?
Why what?
Why add a third enemy type in?
See, well, they were added in Birth by Sleep because the Heartless didn't exist yet in Birth by Sleep.
But then,
Well,
Birth by Sleep was a prequel, yeah?
yes.
Right. So why could they not just a bit left in the past? Why bring them to the future? That
Maybe
to
there
me,
will be a reason explained. I don't know. I haven't
that
got
to
that
me
far yet.
is just making it unnecessary. That's being complicated for being complicated's sake.
So help me! So help me!
So, Monsters Incorporated used to rely on...
So this, from what I can tell, this actually seems to be set after the Monsters Inc. movie, which is, I think, pretty cool. Because obviously they haven't done a post-Monsters Inc. movie yet.
Yeah.
Because Sully is now the CEO of Monsters Inc.
Out without Boo.
Cool.
Oh, his eyes are so
Okay.
creepy.
Guess we've got that in common.
I also like that they have a running joke where Boo keeps calling Donald Mike Wazowski because he has one eye, which I think is pretty good.
Unversed are back.
This is terrible.
Look, there's Boo's door. Go get Boo.
Fucking kids running away.
We'll have to play another time, Boo. You stay here.
Yeah, that's a pretty good John Candy sound like.
Yeah,
John Candy, John Goodman.
so
Sorry.
good. Man. God, Sora looks so weird. So, summons are back.
Yeah.
They seem to be no like specific theme to them. Like there is one of them is like you summon a Dream Eater from the 3DS game, and obviously this one is you summon Wreck-It Ralph. Build shit.
This is just a tower defense game, so it is.
Kinda.
Who's it going to hit up there
I
now?
don't know. I just wanted to build it. I wanted to see if it would work. And then I finish, and they all explode.
I don't like his one. I think the other one's much better.
The Meow Wow.
Yeah. I don't think it's not really like. Do you feel like the game has lived up to it so far? Lived up
Yes.
to the 13-year hype?
See, this is what I don't like. I said earlier, I appreciate that they've stuck to their fucking bullshit. But I also think that this is called 3. Like, any of the other. Well, not any of them, but I think certain of the other spin off side games could have easily been called 3 if they were released on a console. Like, I think the 3DS game is the actual Kingdom Hearts 3. Because it is the one that actually continues the story. So I think, like, if the 3DS one was originally released on a console, I think you could easily call it Kingdom Hearts 3, and this, and then I don't think the whole, like, oh, this is taking, like, 13 years to come out would be a big deal. So for me, this doesn't feel like a 13-year wait for the next Kingdom Hearts game, because I've been playing the other Kingdom Hearts games. As much as I think people will see them, oh, but they're not numbered games, they're not necessary. I don't agree with that. I don't think just because you're slapping a 3 on it suddenly means it's the most important game.
No, but I feel like at the same time, though, like you for the main story, for example, someone like me who played the first one, played the second one, didn't play the in-between, so it's probably a more casual fan. This is it. This is going to be the first time they've played a Kingdom Hearts game since 2. So for 13 odd years. You know?
Right here.
So...
But I also feel like you could levy the same argument at something like, I watch Avengers 1 and then go watch Avengers 2 and be like, oh, what the fuck, here are all these characters?
I wonder where Boo's
Like, I feel like you could levy the same argument, but people wouldn't get as annoyed about it.
No, like, I think they would, because... Like, if you watch one and then went and
But I
watched
feel
two.
like it's... But I feel like there are probably people who have done that, who have only watched, say, the Avengers film and not seen some of the other ones, and people don't make as big a deal out of, oh shit, who the fuck are these characters?
But to me, that's the argument then of just, you invest an hour and a half to 2 hours into a movie, you invest 30 plus hours into a game, so you want it to be more satisfying. Why is he doing this?
Gotta get to the door vault.
Why did he not just summon the door back?
Boo, hold on. Don't want you to get hurt.
I just fucking dropped the wee shit.
Here we come.
Oh, I just got a great idea.
There's textures, Nick. So, each story, or each world has kind of an overarching story. What is the overarching story in the Monsters Inc. world?
So, well, from what this is obviously still at more or less the very start of the Monsters Inc. world. It seems to be Sully and Mike kind of got Boo out, and they had planned to like, oh, hang out with Boo for a while because it's all calmed down, and then suddenly the Unversed appeared, and now they're trying to put Boo back.
Yeah, Nick, take cover.
Why?
Just hide by the door for cover. Like, this is cool. Like, this, the scale of this is
Yeah.
awesome. Like, the fact that like, all these conveyor belts are actually moving and stuff, that's just really, really awesome. This game just is so...
I think
More games need to be more of a spectacle like
I
this.
think they have made a good on
You are
their
nearly dead.
idea of like pushing these technologies to like a limit.
Yeah.
Like, it could have been very easy for them to just release like something that was very similar to 1 and 2 with like much smaller areas that just looked really good. But I think they've went above and beyond what they probably needed to do with some of the areas.
It's offline.
Oh shit. What was it even Boo's door?
More bad guys.
Don't worry, I'll watch Boo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cut.
Sora, we gotta make Boo laugh to open the door.
Yeah, I'll do that while killing these. Maybe it's just me, but or maybe do you get other finishers for Donald and Goofy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just wondering. Do you want to finish this fight and then we'll do a wee wrap up?
Okay.
Nick dropped the hype hammer.
No, I don't like the hype hammer.
Why?
For the shield.
Oh, why don't you swap? Oh, that's another thing, that Sora can wield more than one Keyblade at a time now. It's pretty dope. What the fuck is that? Fucking flower power?
It's the
The tangle? No, I can guess it's the tangled one, Nick. But it's just it's gay.
Jesus.
Really
man.
gay.
Come on, this is the 21st century.
I love the teacup finisher, but I would vote my ring out.
Yeah.
It's like, "Brrr."
Especially like if you end up using it in quite like a tight corridor.
Yeah.
It becomes
just
like the camera just starts freaking the fuck out, and it is kind of like sickness inducing. The big tower.
Disco Inferno. So I've only really done 2 boss fights, both of which were actually pretty spectacular. What was the one in the Tangle World like?
It's pretty good because it actually makes good use of the tower itself in that area, where like you have to like climb the tower and stuff, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, I keep going back to it, but like I'm amazed by some of the things they do in this game, like engine-wise, and how good it all looks.
Yeah, like I said, like Square Enix games between Final Fantasy 15 and now this have been pretty dope.
Yeah.
Like, and they are absolutely killing the whole spectacle boss fights. You know, like if you think back to Final Fantasy 15 with like the one that comes to my head the most is the Leviathan boss fight, which is just unbelievable. And that what?
Yeah, fuck.
So yeah, I think yeah, just laugh at his misery, kid. That's grand. So yeah, like
Door's open.
I will always, without a doubt, like love Square Enix and their spectacles at this point. Which makes me really excited for what the final boss fight's going to be in this. So
Whose door?
how convenient.
Ready? It's time to hitch another ride. Cool.
So Nick,
Yes, Hans.
if I was on the fence about Kingdom Hearts, what you doing?
I want to look at Rudy McGee before I go. Look at him! Look at the size of those fucking arms. His arms are thicker than his waist.
Nick, if I was on the fence about Kingdom Hearts 3, what would you say to me?
I would say there's obviously going to be people that are like very anti this because it's convoluted, the story makes no sense without playing the other games. But at the end of the day, I think this is a really solid action game. I think this is a really solid story. Like, yeah, you're not going to understand some of it going in with just this, but I think there is a really solid story and really solid characters in there. I think it plays great, I think it looks great, I think it is overall exactly what I wanted from what they're calling Kingdom Hearts 3. But I can understand why people might be put off by it. It's not going to sway your opinion on weird anime bullshit. It's not going to sway your opinion on weird
Over there.
horseshit around Disney. At the end of the day, people will probably still look at this and think, oh, it's stupid Disney shit. But
You need to fucking heal Sully, he is dying, mate.
those people are always probably going to hate on stuff like this.
Why'd you do that? There's a fucking save point right there, Nick!
I'm not going to save the game.
Yeah, but you could have just ran through it to heal him. Anyway, sorry, your stupidity about
But overall, yeah, I love this game. It's everything I wanted from Kingdom Hearts 3, and it only seems to be going from strength to strength.
Don't take a picture of the kid. Like, you're not supposed to do that. Do you have a question to ask me? Because I have played
We're
it too.
on the fence.
No, but you've done it wrong. You do it wrong every time.
Sorry, I'm trying to take a picture of Mike Wazowski.
You want to take a picture?
Your hand was in the way.
That's the joke hands. Do you remember in the movie?
No.
Do you remember, like, every time they try to take a picture, he's like, every time they take a picture of him in the movie, he's covered up because he's so small.
No, I really
Oh,
don't.
it's so good. Hans, if I was on the fence about Kingdom Hearts 3, what would you say to me?
I would say like it is a really, really good game. It's kind of, I agree, it's kind of exactly what I want from a Kingdom Hearts sequel. Would like don't get me wrong, I'm not like the convoluted bullshit isn't what bothers me about the story. To me, it's just that I feel like there is some. The story amongst the worlds is in each world is actually just kind of boring. The only thing that really makes it interesting is the novelty of, oh hey look, it's these guys interacting. Like, you know, for example, the Toy Story world, it was just kind of more, well, these guys have been kidnapped and now we're going, you know, like Sora, to me, Sora doesn't really evolve. Donald and Goofy doesn't really evolve. You know.
Oh, that's weird.
What?
These go across save files.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't have got that there yet.
But no, like I said, like I have little niggles with the story, but overall, like it's still really, really fun to play. Why?
Look at Goofy.
I will every time I
Look
close
at
my
Goofy.
eyes. So yeah, no, I would recommend it. I say it's not gonna. If you're a Kingdom Hearts fan, you'll definitely buy it. But if you're like, hey, maybe I'll get into the Kingdom Hearts series for the first time. And no, don't
But, like,
do that to yourself.
I get that, but I also appreciate that they have went to the trouble of putting all the games on one console now. Like, you can play the entirety of Kingdom Hearts on your PS4 now. And I think that is... Well, I don't think there's many people that would do that. I did that. But I think it goes a long way to say, like, to kind of for them to say, like, yeah, like, we know this is a big, massive, long-running franchise. Here is our attempt to kind of get to make it a bit more accessible for people.
So, that is Kingdom Hearts 3, currently available on PS4. Yeah, it's an exclusive, isn't it?
No, it's on Xbox as well.
Oh, that's dumb. Oh yeah, because we talked about that, yeah. Because I was shocked that Sony would let one of their long-standing exclusives go on the Xbox. But anyway, so yes, that is Kingdom Hearts 3, currently available on PS4 and Xbox One. In around the £50 bracket. Thanks very much, Nick.
No problem.